and welcome to m.m.c. Today we are going to steam bath apricots. So let's get going. Here are my apricots. I've halved and pitted them. So that's done. In my oven are my jars. They are sterilising and keeping warm. In here, crikey, in here we have 2 1/4 cups of sugar with 5 1/4 cups of water, and we need to bring this up to the boil. Once it's boiled, we can then turn the heat off and think about packing our apricots. I'm going to pack mine raw. On top of all of this, you're going to need your lids, your bands. I've got my lids in warm water. It's just, I find that they seal better that way. I've got white vinegar and some kitchen roll just to wipe the rims of the jars down so we get a good seal so they're not all sticky. I've got a ladle to place the syrup over the top. I also have a funnel. So I will bring you back when the simple sugar syrup is at a boil and when the jars are ready, and my temperature for my steam canner. This is my steam canner. You can get them on Amazon. And you can, for raw packing, it has to be up to 140 degrees, so I will heat it up ready. So I will bring you back when we're all ready to start jarring up. For the apricot recipe, I am using this, the Ball Book of Canning and Preserving, and following their canned fruit in 3 easy steps. And I've got the apricots. It says here, it tells you what to do and what syrup to have. I've got a light syrup, and it says I can have extra light, light or medium syrup. So that's what I'm going to do, and they would take 20 minutes in the steam canner once it's up to temperature. Okay, my syrup is up to a boil, and what I'm going to do is turn the heat off, put the lid on while I pull all my jars out and get everything else ready. Then I will be back. Okay, my jars are out the oven nice and hot. My canner is up to temperature. Pop that on there. With apricots, they've got to go cut side down, which obviously is never going to go the right way when you want it to. And you layer them up. I do have some apricots if I need to make any up. Some more. I think it's actually easier without the funnel on with these. Okay. They are all full. So now we're going to ladle the syrup in. Again to 1/2 inch headspace. I'm now going to get a chopstick and just go put down, just to release any air bubbles. Okay, time for paper towel, dip it in a white vinegar, and we're going to wipe the rims. Okay, let's get our bands on, our lids on, and then the bands. Okay, bands are on. Fingertip tight, do not crank these down. Okay, got our jar lifters and on to the canner. Okay, lid on. Now we are in the blue one, and then on to the green. The blue is 0 to 3,000 foot. That is my altitude. It's within that range. Please check yours, because the higher you are, the longer that you need to can things. So I'm in this one, and when this red needle gets to just past this notch here, that's when we start our timer for 20 minutes. So when that's ready, I will bring you back to show you. Okay, my needle is in the right area. It has to be near this little notch I've got in here. Don't know whether you can see the notch. It's in the right place, so I'm now going to hit start on a timer for 20 minutes. Once the 20 minutes is done, we stop the timer, we turn off the heat, and we wait again for another 5 minutes before we remove this lid. So when we get to this stage, I will bring you back. Okay, we've got 14 seconds on our timer for the apricots. So once this timer goes off, we will turn off the heat and start a timer for 5 minutes before we can remove the lid. Okay, let's change this to 5, turning off the heat, and off we go. I'll be back when the timer goes off to get the jars of the apricots out of the canner. Okay, 4 seconds before the lid comes off for the apricots. And there we are. Let's move that. Let's take this lid off. And there they are. Jar lifter. And that's your apricots in there. You can see a bubble in. And I can see a jar has split. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. So that's 4 jars. I'm not sure why that jar has split, but that is going to go straight in the bin. I'm not even going to try to salvage any of that. So 4 jars, 1 split, and I don't know why. Perhaps there was a fault on the glass or something, because I have canned quite a lot, and that is the first time ever that has happened. So I don't know, but if it happens, don't panic, just bin it all and it will be fine. So we're down to 4 jars and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to leave these overnight, and I'll come back in the morning when we're ready to wash them and take all the bands off. Okay, on further inspection I had a second jar that was cracked. So I've put both of them in the bin. So that's 3 I now have. I've checked these and they are fine. I do know I had 2 jars put to one side because I had a slight flaw on the bottom of them, and I put them to one side to use for dehydrating, and I've got a feeling those were the 2 jars that I shouldn't have canned in, because I noticed there's a flaw on the bottom of them. That's okay, I'm keeping it real. This is real, this is what happened. I'm not going to try and hide it or cover it. It is what it is. It's an experience, it's something new, something I haven't come across before, so we can learn something from it. Okay guys, this is a bit later, and you can see those lids, the button top lids, these have been sucked down so they don't make a noise, so those are sealed. And I wanted to say that I've checked my jars and I think they were 2 faulty jars that I shouldn't have used. I'd noticed at the base it was sort of a fault on it, you could see, instead of this design on the bottom sat lovely, it was actually over to one side. So I think it was the fault of the glass that caused that. They're also not my normal glass jars where I normally get them from, so what I have done moving forward is gone back to Hobbycraft and started using their jars again, which I'm trying to see, yes, these are not the Hobbycraft jars. As you can see on this jar it says fresh, and you've got the measurements up the side. Yeah, these ones are a different brand. Yep. And I've got a feeling those jars actually come from Home Bargains. So it was Home Bargains or the range, these ones. So I'm going back to my old jars, my Hobbycraft ones, moving forward, and I'm not going to get any of the cheaper jars from now on, because I know Hobbycraft ones work fantastically. So if you bear with me, I'll show you some other things that I've canned with the Hobbycraft jars. Okay, fresh, all these are Hobbycraft jars. So I don't know whether you can see that on there, that's the fresh, that's the fresh too. So you can see, normally I don't have an issue at all with glasses breaking, and this is now 2 from the same batch, but I won't be getting any more, and I'll be sticking to Hobbycraft. So I will see you in the morning when it's time to wash up our jars and put them on the shelf. Okay, I've got some hot soapy water, a cleaning cloth, a good squirt of vinegar, and let's get these beautiful apricot jars in for a clean up. There we are. Right, I'm going to give these bands a really good scrub. You don't want to leave these bands in water a long time because they will rust, but you do need to make sure that they are cleaned thoroughly. Don't want any stickiness left on them. And sorted. And after you finish washing these bands, make sure you dry them really well as well, because again they will rust. Okay, put those to drain. And we're going to get this cloth and we're going to give it a good scrub, especially around the lid area. And this bit here, it gets very, very sticky. It's from the syrup. I'm going to put one on the side. Right. It's quite important to keep these nice and clean because you don't want to leave any stickiness here and then have mold grow or anything like that. So you want it sort of top hygiene. And we're going to dry them thoroughly, that way we will know if there's any stickiness left, and if there is, it'll go back in for another wash. No stickiness. Put that one to one side. Let's get the next one. Stickiness again. And let's give these bands a good thorough dry, because it doesn't take a lot of water to make these rust. So you do want to keep everything as clean and dry as you can. My kids are going to go through this in no time, but that's absolutely fine because I'm still learning with all this canning. So it's been great fun to bring you along and show you what I do. I hope I'm doing everything right. I have done so much reading over the last few years on safe canning, the water bath and the steam canning. So, which is good. It means if I can do it, you can too. So yeah. Aren't they great? Don't you think they're going to look great on a shelf somewhere? That is going to look awesome. So, I hope you really liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And then if you do, hit that notification bell, because that way you will not miss a video. So, until next time, happy canning all!